Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Do You Make Money? Because I do. My name is Brands, and today we're just going to be going over the interview that Mike, the investor, had with Forex Shark. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to tick the little bell icon to be notified when I drop more videos. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and be sure to comment in the comment section to help support this channel, to help with the YouTube algorithm. I'd really appreciate it. So I actually took some notes on the video. It's about 6 pages of notes. So buckle in. It's going to be a long one. And as always, I'm not a financial advisor. No financial advice is given from this channel. So do your own research. Crypto is risky. Only be willing to invest what you're willing to lose. And with all that said, let's go ahead and get started. So basically the interview started off with Forex, explaining, where he came from, how he got into crypto, some of his accomplishments. And in this video, I'm just going to go over some of the things that I found interesting, some of the more important aspects. It's not really possible to go over everything. The video would be way too long. It'd be way too much work to take notes on all that. So I'm just going to try and break it down to some of the more important aspects. So let's go ahead and get started. So Mike basically asked if this is still the order that everything is going to come out. So basically he was asking Forex, what's the order of things that are going to come out from a development perspective. And Forex went ahead and answered that, but I'm going to go ahead and reiterate what Mike had said. So he asked, is this the order that everything is going to come out? First, we have the Animal Farm, then the products for the Animal Farm, such as the Dogs of Fortune game and Dogs Roulette. Then after that, the new Drip UI along with the new Drip and Reservoir products. And then from there, if Forex will be willing, or if Forex will be working on like the Scratchy pre-sale and Scratchy launch. And Forex Shark answered that first they will have Animal Farm launch. And with Animal Farm, they're currently in testing and doing additional audits. But the preliminary audits have already been done. They're currently doing a lot of in-house testing as well as stress testing by setting up massive test environments on side chains that they develop just for testing purposes. Forex Shark has also said that they have hired 2 additional third-party developers that didn't work on the Animal Farm code to come on to give kind of an additional third-party look and different perspectives. He also went on to say that he never wanted to give a launch date until everything was completely ready to go, and that the launch date would give the team about a month or more of concentrated promotion. He said they already have about 35 different marketing vehicles, such as Twitter influences to banner ads on all the major sites, interviews with some major YouTubers, articles on major platforms, and Twitter Spaces like the one they have scheduled with the Binance affiliate that has over 500,000 followers on Twitter. And apparently this person does Twitter Spaces for some of the top projects around. So Forex also goes on to say that they have a major concentrated promotional plan that will provide something new every day, and that they will be hyping and getting people ready for the launch of the Animal Farm. He then went on to drop some major alpha by telling us that the Animal Farm would go live the first week of October. So, this was huge. Nobody expected it in the interview. I think it was more of a slip on Forex's part. But, he took it in stride, and it was great to hear that. So my guess is either October 4th, which is a Tuesday, or October 6th, which is Thursday. If I was a betting person, I would say Tuesday, because he likes to release stuff on Tuesday. But it's either going to probably be Tuesday or Thursday. So mark it on your calendars. He went on to say that we'll get the exact date next Tuesday, but that in the first week of October, they'll be going live with the Animal Farm. And then about 2 weeks after that, they'll be launching the Dogs Roulette game. And then shortly after that, the Dogs of Fortune game will follow. Then about two weeks after Dogs of Fortune launches, they'll be releasing the new Drip UI, along with the new contracts, which are essentially a layer that lives on top of the Drip ecosystem. Now, these contracts are going to add gamification mechanics that reward people for getting into the faucet. So the gamification will create essentially an extra incentive to get investors into the faucet and into the reservoir. Forex Shark made sure to state that when people stake in the reservoir or into the faucet, it goes into the same contracts as the existing reservoir and into the existing faucet, therefore still supporting the current investors. So you don't have to worry about these new contracts doing something crazy. It's just going to be an added layer of gamification to get more people interested in Drip and the reservoir. So according to Forex Shark, the new level of gamification is going to reward large depositors as well as random people that enter the Drip ecosystem. And the way they designed it is completely different and completely unique. He also talked about how they wanted to give Drip a new, more professional design with this UI update. He said that they've completed the design aspect of the UI and that they are in the process of doing the code part of building the design. He then mentioned that the new airdropping system for Drip is vastly improved, and now it should only take a few clicks and a couple of seconds to be able to airdrop your teams, all while remaining far less expensive to airdrop if you have much larger teams. Lastly, he talked about a Scratchy coming toward the end of the year, around a November-December timeframe. He mentioned that they already have major platforms on board for Scratchy, one of them being a blue chip NFT project that's been around since 2018, as well as a major crypto casino that's on board as well. He also gave us a hint that he's in contact with a major influencer who has been blowing up on YouTube right now, and that this particular person is one of the most Googled persons in the world right now. Forex said he was previously in a meeting with the influencer's manager and was able to give him the pitch decks for Animal Farm and Drip. Next, Forex talked about how dozens of platforms are extremely excited and ready to go with Scratchy, but that first Scratchy would be hosted on Animal Farm and Drip. He said that this is massive because each platform for Scratchy has its own unique treasury, and this treasury goes to the jackpot of each batch, even though each platform has its own branding. But there will still be some crossover promotion, and whatever platform has the largest treasury will get the most attention, and this will create a level of competition that is great for all the other platforms, especially the large platforms that could come in and dominate. But because Drip and Animal Farm will have a huge head start, it will allow us to build up our treasury first, thus giving us a major opportunity for Drip and Animal Farm when doing cross promotion to bring in additional users and investors that are interested in Scratchy. So these people will come for Scratchy and then basically stay for Drip and Animal Farm once they discover these platforms and the potential and opportunity both present. So in my opinion, I think Scratchy and the cross promotion are a bridge to get new investors into Animal Farm and Drip. So in this interview with Mike, Forex also talked about the white paper for the platforms and how they are very well documented, but also pretty long for the average reader. So to solve this, he said he'll be releasing 2 pitch decks tomorrow. We'll see if they do come out tomorrow, but stay tuned for that. One will be for Scratchy and one for Animal Farm, and that they wrap up both products in a very detailed but succinct way in in less than 4 pages each. So, once these pitch decks are released, I'm most likely going to do a video covering them. So just stay tuned for that. We'll see what happens if they do come out tomorrow. So then Mike went on to ask about the dog pound that will be released with the launch of Animal Farm. And Forex has gone over this in detail before in other videos, so we won't talk much about it right now. But basically, there's a variable tax on the dog token, and this variable tax is based on 2 loyalty scores. There's the token loyalty score, and then there is a wallet loyalty score. The token loyalty score is relative to a specific amount of tokens you have staked in the dog pound. So if you have, say, for example, 1,000 tokens in the dog pound, you're reducing your tax on those 1,000 tokens over time. And the wallet loyalty score is where you're reducing the tax on the wallet for any dogs that you transact with in the future, capped at 30%. So you can only reduce the tax on a wallet up to 30% max. But from that point on, all the dog tokens transacted by that wallet are reduced up to 30%. Again, if you want to know more about this, I'll leave the light paper link for Animal Farm version 2 in the description of this video, and you can learn more about the dog pound there. So next up, Forex talked about something I found very interesting. He went on to explain what happened with version 1 of Animal Farm and why version 2 is so different. He went on to say that when Pancake Swap syrup pools switched from version 1 to version 2, the Animal Farm needed to follow suit basically. The reason why was because Pancake Swap pays the Animal Farm platform 30 to 40 million APY, or 30 to 40% APY on this collateral that they're lending out to Pancake Swap. And at the time, it amounted to about $700 million in TVL, which is total value locked. So in version 1 of Animal Farm, they were earning anywhere, he said, from around $20 to $30 million a year on their TVL, and that they could use the earnings to pay the governance holders, which are the stakers in the pig pen. They were also able to set aside a small amount for marketing purposes. Now, here's the really interesting part. Forex Shark said that because they're a fully decentralized protocol that has immutable contracts, they had no ability just to decide to change the contracts to switch over to these version 2 Pancake Swap syrup pools. And not doing so would leave $20 to $30 million a year out of the picture. So it was worth doing the migration. And then since they had to do a migration, he wanted to take the opportunity to make major improvements to the Animal Farm, as well as creating a mechanic that allows them to adapt to newer versions if, for example, Pancake Swap decides they want to switch their pools again. So that's very important. He said they can now use the governance model they created to change the contract that they're lending to in a fully decentralized way that doesn't require them to pause anything, that doesn't require them to switch liquidity pools. So all in all, the new improvements give them more flexibility without removing any of the decentralization or the security to the model, which is highly important if you're into decentralization, which you should be, because this is DeFi, which is decentralized finance. Now, another huge thing that Forex dropped that really surprised me was about the Animal Farm website and how they're updating the entire look of the site. He said that they're building out a completely new website with the help of an additional developer. They're going to take the current website that they built and really improve upon it by making it cleaner and much more clear for new investors. They're going to use a landing page, so when people click on the link, for example, say a banner ad, or they get referred to the site, then they're hitting a landing page first in which they're seeing a video about the products. New visitors will get explanations about all the products along with an easier site to navigate. And this should all be going live, he said, by the end of this month. So I had no idea about this. So in a week or so, we should see the new Animal Farm website. I'm very excited to see this. I hope that they update the drip garden, which I'm sure they will, but I'm hoping they make, especially like things like the piggy bank, I hope they make it easier to understand, because I still don't understand the piggy bank. It's still very, very confusing to me. And drip garden, I just, hope they make it look nicer. Hope they make it more, I guess, easier for new people who are coming in to understand, because that's really important. We want everything to be as simple and easy to understand as possible. Simpler the better, and that'll just help bring in a lot more capital. So next, Forex just gave us a quick rundown of the status of everything. So for Animal Farm, all the contracts are completed. All of the development is finished. The preliminary audits are finished. They're getting additional audits done, so people will see that they have multiple audits for the contracts. They are also doing in-house stress testing, but basically all the development is finished. The Dogs Roulette game is 100% finished and ready to go. The Dogs of Fortune, the hacker simulation game contracts, are 100% finished, and they are just still wrapping up the UI for it, so that will be 100% completed in a week or two. Scratchy is 100% developed, so the UI Scratchy is developed, the contracts are finished, and they're currently in audits. The Drip UI design is completed, and they're still doing some code work for the design, which should be completed soon. He boiled it down to basically they have 5 or 6 products that are developed already, and they're either just doing some cleanup cosmetic work of the UI or doing audits and testing, but all the development is finished. He wants it so that every month for the next year they can continuously release new products. He then went on to talk about how incredible the marketing will be now that they have around 30 different marketing vehicles lined up, thanks to not only their new CMO, but also the 2 crypto marketing firms they have contracted with. He mentioned that tomorrow he has an interview with a woman who has done interviews with major Fortune 500 companies and major sporting events. They're doing it for a YouTube ad that will answer some of the major questions about Animal Farm. The YouTube ad will have about a 30-second hook, so people that see the YouTube ad get reeled in when they start watching it, and then it'll go into an interview portion where they answer questions about Animal Farm. So just think of it as like when you see an ad and there's some sort of pitch that gets you interested, it piques your curiosity, and instead of clicking off the ad, you listen to what they have to say, and then once the pitch is over, it's going to go into an interview that's going to answer a lot of questions you may have about what they were trying to pitch you. So Forex was basically, with what I just previously mentioned, he was basically laying out a sample of their marketing strategy for everything moving forward. And he goes on to talk about how Drip and the Animal Farm didn't have any real marketing before, but now they have a dedicated marketing budget with professionals leading a highly focused marketing strategy to put as many eyeballs onto Drip and the Animal Farm as possible. He was also really excited about the marketing moving forward and how it would propel Drip and the Animal Farm to heights we have never seen before. After that, he talked about building a partnership with Chainlink and how these new contracts that they developed for the Drip platform also utilize Chainlink. From there, he answered some community questions, and I would highly recommend that you listen to the entirety of the interview. It was really, really good. It was my favorite one so far. Check out the interview because he did answer some community questions at the end, and maybe he answered some questions that you might have. Other than that, I didn't want to keep this video too long by going over everything he talked about, because a lot of it was stuff that he's talked about in previous interviews. He did drop a lot of new information, and he did kind of connect the dots with a lot of things. So again, I would highly recommend you check out the interview. I will leave a link in the description so you can check out the video. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. Drop a comment to help me out with the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe to the channel. Tick the little bell icon to be notified when I drop more videos. It took me a while to do this. I had to take a lot of notes, and this is new to me, doing it in note format. Usually I just turn on the mic, start talking. Let me know if you enjoyed this. Again, I appreciate any support you can give. If you enjoyed this, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Or maybe today. Maybe I'll drop another video. Who knows? But again, thanks for staying to the end. If you've made it this far, I appreciate it. And have a great day.